Phonics Phase 5A Week 1. Some of the games that we are going to use throughout the week can be found on Phonics Play. To access Phonics Play during lockdown, use the username and password shown here at the bottom of the screen. Username Jan21, password home. This is for flashcard trial games, train your brain and buried treasure games. There is a similar game to buried treasure which we also use, which you can find by googling Odd and Bob Phase 5 or by replacing the word Phase 5 with sound. For example, Odd and Bob a Y sound. This will enable these games, Buried Treasure and Odd and Bob, will enable your child to sound out words and decide whether they are real words or not. Flashcards can be used to practice previously learnt sounds, and Train Your Brain allows your child to practice reading tricky words. So Phase 5A, Week 1, Monday. So I want you to start by going to Phonics Play and doing a flashcards speed trial. Please focus on Phase 3 sounds. Pause the video here to do that. Today we are looking at using the digraph A-Y for the A phoneme. So A-Y for the A phoneme. I want you to practice air writing it. Then I want you to practice writing it as I'm doing on the board. A-Y, A. With your best handwriting on your board 3 times or on your paper. Let's now practice adding sound buttons to these words below and then try reading them. So pause the video here whilst you write these words and add the sound buttons. Let's look at the words together. D, E, F, L, A. Deflay. Is that a real word or a nonsense word? It's a nonsense word. L, A, lay. Real or nonsense? It's a real word. We lay the table. K, U, A, R. Apologies, mine's just gone wrong there. Crayon. Crayon we know is a real word. We use them to colour. A. Stray. Real or nonsense? Stray is a real word. A stray cat or dog is one that has run away from home. A. Clay. Real or nonsense? Clay is a real word. We use it to make things, a bit like Play-Doh. A. Play. We all know that play is a real word. A. Pray. Real or nonsense? Yeah, it's a real word. Lots of us pray at mosques or churches or at home. A. Glay. Real or nonsense? That's a nonsense word. You could now go either to Phonics Play and go to Buried Treasure or to Odd and Bob, which looks like this. And then you are sorting them. For Buried Treasure, the real words into the treasure chest, nonsense into the rubbish bin, or recycling bin rather. On Odd and Bob, one of them likes real words and the other only likes fake words. So for example, you can see here we've got the word day. We know that's a real word, so you would feed it to the pink monster. Look at the sentences on your screen now and try to read them. Pause your video here whilst you read them. Can a crayon spray paint? Can a stray cat play? Do not delay if you want to stay all day. Can you spot our A phoneme sounds? Crayon, spray, stray, play, delay, stay, and day all have the A phoneme spelt AY as we've learnt today. We've also got paint, where the A phoneme is spelt AI. That's Monday's lesson. Thank you. Phase 5A, week 1, Tuesday. I want you to practice spelling words using phase 3 sounds. So you can either go to Phonics Play and look for the space race, go to Odd and Bob and look for the space race game and use phase 3. So if you Google Odd and Bob space race, that should come up. Or using your phase 3 sound mat that you can see on screen here, you can make up words and ask your child to spell them. For example, chair, air, or wow, ow. Have a go and see what you can come up with. Today's diagraph is the OU spelling of the ow phoneme, like in cloud. So I want you to air write it and then looking at how I'm forming the letters. I want you to practice writing it on your paper or whiteboard. Right, let's see today if we can add sound buttons to these words and read them. So pause your videos here, write down the words and add in your sound buttons, and then try to read each word. K, ow, d, cloud. Real or nonsense? It's a real word. Clouds are in the sky. Ow, d, found. Real or nonsense? It's a real word. I found it outside. Found something means you've seen it and picked it up. Out, plout. Real or nonsense? That's a nonsense word. Up, out, about. We know that about is a real word. I read a book about a dog. Out. Real or nonsense? Loud is a real word. It's the opposite of quiet. Ow, loud. Real or nonsense? That's a nonsense word. Out, sprout. Real or nonsense? That's a real word. Sprouts are a type of vegetable, little green ones. Out, scout. Real or nonsense? Scout is a real word. To scout for something means to look for it. Again, either go to Odd and Bob or Buried Treasure to sort them into real or nonsense words. Right, I now want you to write the sentence that I say. Your first sentence is, what is the loudest sound around? Have you written it correctly? Your second sentence is, can a sprout be proud? Pause whilst you write it. Have you written it correctly? Well done. That's Tuesday's lesson. Thank you. Phase 5A, week 1, Wednesday. Which graphemes have we looked at this week? Yeah, we've looked at the AY spelling of the A sound and the OU spelling of the OW sound, as in play and cloud. To practice these, you could do what we call phone talk. So that means you pretend you're on a phone, but that the signal is breaking up so that some of your words are broken down into sounds. So, for example, can I come to your house? House. Do you want to play? Pause here and try some phone talk using AY for A sounds and OU for OW sounds. Today we're going to look at reading tricky words. So pause your video here and try reading the tricky words. So we have people, there, could, and called. Tricky words are tricky because we cannot use our phonics to read them. Go to Phonics Play and train your brain to try reading the Phase 5 tricky words. Can you write the tricky words we've looked at today? O, people, there, could, and called. O, people, there, THEIR, could, COULD, and called, LED. Well done if you got those correct. Write the sentences I said. Some people play loud sounds on horns. Pause it here whilst you write it. Some people play loud sounds on horns. Did you get it right? Do people play with their sprouts? Pause it here whilst you write it. Did you get it right? Well done. That's the end of Wednesday's lesson. Phase 5A, Week 1, Thursday. What graphemes have we learnt so far this week? Yeah, we've learnt the AY spelling of the A sound and the OU spelling of the OW sound. I want you to go to Flashcards Time Challenge on Phonics Play and practice Phase 3 graphemes. Our new digraph for today is IE for the I phoneme. E makes I, as in tie. Practice writing it on your page. Let's add sound buttons to these words and read them together. So pause here whilst you write the words and add your sound buttons. P, I, pie. L, I, lie. F, I, d, fried. T, I, tie. S, p, I, d, spied. K, I, d, cried. D, p, I, d, deplied. Ch, I, d, chide. P, I, d, replied. Which are real and which are nonsense? Good. Chide, spelt this way, is a nonsense word, and deplied is a nonsense word. Pie is something you eat. Lie is the opposite to a truth. Fried is how we could cook food, like samosas. Tie is something that you do, you tie your shoelaces or tie a tie around your neck. Spied means saw something happen. I spied it happening, I watched it. Cried, someone cried in the playground or cried at a sad film. And replied means answered. Again, Odd and Bob, buried treasure to sort into real and nonsense words. Write the sentences. People denied that they had cried. Pause the video here to write it. People denied that they had cried. Did you get it correct? Can you think of your own sentence using one of these words below? Pie, fried or cried. Write your own sentence. Well done, that's Thursday's lesson. Phonics Phase 5A, Week 1, Friday. I want us to move on to Phase 4, tricky words today. So read the tricky words. Said, have, like, so, do, some, come, little, one, were, there, out, what, when. I want you to pick 6 of those words and put them into a bingo grid. And then whoever is working on your phonics with you, I want them, without looking at your page, to say some of the Phase 4 tricky words, and as you've got them, you can cross them off. Our learning objective today is learn the digraph EA for the E phoneme, like in bead. So we've got E, A. Oops, sorry. Practice air writing it, and then writing on a whiteboard, saying E as you write. Right, today we're going to practice by reading our words and then matching them to the pictures. So let's read our first word. B-E-Ch, beach. Which picture shows a beach? Correct, it's this one. My sound buttons don't move. Let's read this word. M-E-T, meat. Which picture shows meat? Correct. Let's read this word. T-R-E-T, treat. Which of our pictures shows a treat? Yeah, the sweets are a treat, aren't they? E-P. Which of our pictures shows a heap? Well, this is a chair, so I don't think that's a heap. A pile of books. That is a heap. A heap is like a messy pile. And our final word, S-E-T, seat. A chair is a seat. Now we're going to think about what the answers to these sentences could be. Remember, they all need the E-A spelling of the E phoneme. Something I pour on my strawberries. With the E-A spelling of the E phoneme. Cream. K-R-E-M. Cream. What do I do when I'm asleep? Dream. D-R-E-M. Dream. And finally, remember the E-A spelling of the E phoneme. What I do with a book? Read. R-E-D. Well done. That is Phase 5A Week 1 complete. Thank you.